Second Chronicles chapter 7, verse 12 to 22. If you're there, you can read. If not, Second Chronicles chapter 7, verse 12 to 22. I read it. The Lord appeared to me in my night and said, I have heard your prayer and have chosen this place for myself as a temple for sacrifices. When I shut up the heavens so that there is no rain, or command locusts to devour the land, or send plague among my people. If my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray, and seek my face, and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven, and I will forgive their sins, and I will heal their land. Now my eyes will be open, and my ears attentive to the prayers offered in this place. I have chosen and consecrated this temple, so that my name may be there forever. My eyes and my heart will always be there. As for you, I will walk before me faithfully, as David your father did, and do all I command, and observe my decrees and laws. I will establish your royal throne, as I covenanted with David your father, when I said, you shall never fail to have a successor to rule over Israel. But if you turn away and forsake the decrees and commands I have given you, and go off to serve other gods, and worship them, then I will uproot Israel from my land, which I have given them, and will reject this temple I have consecrated for my name. I will make it byword and an object of ridicule among all people. This temple will become a heap of rubble. All who pass by will be appalled and say, why has the Lord done such a thing to this land and to this temple? People will answer, because they have forsaken the Lord, the God of their ancestors, who brought them out of Egypt, and have embraced other gods, worshipping and serving them. That is why he brought all this disaster on them. Hallelujah. My emphasis is going to be on verse 14, which says, if my people who are called by my name would humble themselves and pray, and seek my face, and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven, and I will forgive their sins, and I will heal their land. Praise the Lord. So, the word revival, I believe it means to make alive. The word revival means to make alive. And what do we make alive? We only make alive something that is dead, or something that is dormant, inactive. Let's use a bank account that has not been operated for over 6 months or a year. What would they say? They'll say you need to redeposit to reactivate the account. Or a fire that has been burning for long and is going low. What do? You reignite it by either putting more firewood, or you put it up and reignite it again. Hallelujah. So you only set a blaze, or you only need fire for something that's dead or is dormant. Hallelujah. The one major problem we have as believers, or generally, is most of us are satisfied with where we are. That is a major problem we have. Most believers, or most people, are satisfied with where they are. So they don't really desire to set a blaze. They just feel comfortable. I am here, and I can maintain this place. And the reason is the fear of losing where they are. The reason why most people don't even want to go further is because they are scared of losing where they are currently. Hallelujah. Let's give an example. A pile of water that has been stagnant for a very long time. What happens to that water? Meaning nothing is coming in, nothing is going out. A pond that has been stagnant. You realize with time, algae will be formed in that water, right? With some other particles, you begin to find frogs. We begin to use that place as a dwelling place, and some other things. And why is that so? It's because it's not moving. It's just there. So when Christians remain comfortable, we invite different things. We invite. That is why you see most Christians complain of challenges. You see, we are scared of having revival because we feel we'll be a target to the devil. But the thing we don't know is when we are stagnant, that is when the devil comes more. Because he knows we don't have what it takes to fight back. Hallelujah. When we remain stagnant, when we are comfortable with where we are, today we are talking about the cost of revival. But when we are comfortable with where we are, we invite, just like the pond of water that remains stagnant, it begins to grow algae and it invites other particles to that pond. So it is with our life. The moment we remain stagnant, we invite challenges. We are telling the devil, okay, since I am not growing, you can come. Come and try me. Come and try me. And the moment we get attacked, that is where sometimes I laugh when I hear people come to meet me for advice. They come to meet me or for prayer, and they say, I dreamt and I was being chased by axe or by cutlass while I was sleeping. And I would just laugh. And most of the reason why this happens is because we haven't gotten to a level where our spirit being automatically fights for us. Hallelujah. It's because we have been stagnant and we have remained in the same place for a very long time. That's why the devil takes delight. He takes delight in tormenting such people. Hallelujah. But that will be our portion as a church in Jesus' name. Now, the cost of revival. I'm going to be using this verse 14 to tell us about the cost of revival. Verse 14, it says, if my people who are called by my name. Now, the more we get from God, remember we've been talking about prayers, right? We talked about prayer, and we said prayer is a communication between we and God. It's a two-way relationship. Now, the more we want from God, the more we desire God, the more we yearn for God, the more God gives to us. Hallelujah. The more we want, the more God gives. That is the truth. The more we want. But we are scared of wanting more. That is why you see every day we come to church, we sing, I want more of you. Or we pray, when we are left to pray, we cry, Father, I want to know you more. But there's a difference between speaking it and wanting it. Hallelujah. There's a difference between speaking, proclaiming, and desiring it. It's very easy to talk, but it's very difficult for actions. Hallelujah. But the moment we desire to know God more, the more He gives and reveals Himself to us. Hallelujah. So let me be starting on the cost of revival. And the first line of that verse says, if my people. So what is the cost? What does cost mean? You can equally say price, meaning what we need to do, right, to have revival. You can also put it that way. What we need to do to have revival. But before we do that, we need to know that first, if my people, what does that mean? We are God's people. Hallelujah. So the first step to having revival is accepting who you are. The first step to having revival, the first price you need to pay to having revival is accepting you are God's people. Accepting you are God's people. That means you have been created in the image and likeness of God. Hallelujah. And that is from Psalms chapter 100 verse 3. The first step to revival is accepting who you are. And who are we? We are God's people. Meaning we have been created in the image and likeness of God. Let's open to Psalms 100 verse 3. Psalm 100 verse 3. Psalm 100 verse 3, I read. Know that the Lord is God. It is He who made us, and we are His. We are His people, the sheep of His pasture. So if we want to pay the price, we need to know who we are, and we are God's own people. Hallelujah.
We should not be easily swayed away by the world. That is the first step to pay the price. Accepting who we are. So many people have run from this. It's like you came from a state, for example, I'm from Kogi State, but you have refused to accept that I've refused to accept that I'm from Kogi State, and I begin to deny that I'm from Zaire, I'm from Kaduna State. Would I enjoy the benefits that are given to those that are from Kogi State? Even if I am from Kogi State, but I deny it and I say I am from Kaduna State. Whatever people from Kogi State enjoy, I won't. And that is what is happening to us. We claim to be Christians, but we don't identify as Christians. And how do we identify as Christians? Being Christ-like. Our words, our actions, our way of living. You can't have revival when you are not identified as a Christian. Now we are taking Christianity as a religion on paper. Meaning, they ask, which religion are you? There are only two major religions. You are either a Muslim or a Christian. And that is how it is to so many of us. We are Christians by paper, or Christian on paper. And before we can really enjoy this revival we are talking about, we need to first of all identify that we have been created in His image and in His likeness. Hallelujah. The next thing, we need to know that we have been forgiven. Because this is still under accepting we are God's people. We need to know that we have been forgiven by God. After accepting the fact that we are created in His image and in His likeness, we need to know that we have been forgiven. And you can get that in Isaiah chapter 53 verse 6. We have been forgiven. You can get that. I won't read because I have so many scriptures, so I will just give them. You can go back and check them. We need to know that we have been corrected and we have been forgiven. That's Isaiah 53:6. Also, we need to know we have been coronated by God. He has placed in us. What does the coronation mean? When we see people that are ordained into various posts or positions, what does it mean? That's the coronation. Someone that has been ordained. Meaning a hand has been placed on you. And that hand has lifted you up. A position has been placed on you. And that position comes with authority. Hallelujah. The moment you are ordained or you are coronated for a position, it comes with a lifting and it comes with authority, whichever position that has been placed in you. So we need to know that we have been coronated. Meaning we are now high above principalities and power. Hallelujah. And we can get that from Philippians chapter 3 verse 10. Philippians chapter 3 verse 10. Then we need to know that we have been consecrated, set apart. We have been consecrated, set apart. Hallelujah. We have been consecrated, set apart. If my people who are called by my name, we have been consecrated. That means we shouldn't mingle ourselves with the world, W-O-R-L-D. But we should be built on the word, W-O-R-D. Hallelujah. Once you are consecrated, it simply means we shouldn't live by the standards of the world, W-O-R-L-D. But our standards should be the word, W-O-R-D. Hallelujah. That means every day we wake up, every day we live our life, we shouldn't let the world decide who we are. Or we shouldn't be judged by... I usually say this wherever I find myself. I prefer to be judged. Or I prefer to live a life of Christ than to be judged by the world. You can judge me all you like. But as long as I'm living in accordance to God's word, I'm okay. Hallelujah. But so many of us are scared. We pray for revival, but we don't really want that revival because we are scared of people saying it's too Christian-like. We are scared of people saying, this one too like God, it's too like church, I cannot hang out with him. Which is better? Is it better for people to say you are too Christian-like, or for God to say, I do not know you? Hallelujah. We are so scared by what the world will say. And that is why we desire revival, but we genuinely not want it. We say we want fresh fire, we say we want revival. But from our hearts, it's just a figure of speech, not from the heart. Hallelujah. So we need to know that we have been consecrated, we have been set apart by God. Then the second stage of the cost of revival is, like I said, we are following verse 14. If our people are called by his name, we need to know that we have been called. And that is the truth. We have been called right from that, we have been called. If my people who are called by my name. So when we say, once we identify ourselves with Christ, from that moment we have been called by him. So you don't need to wait until the pastor looks at you and say, you, God is going to do something mighty in your life. That is when you desire to have a revival. That is when you desire to know him. You shouldn't wait until something dramatic happens in your life before you come to him and say, God, I want to know you more. We have been called right from day one. So once we accept that fact that he has called us, that is the first step to having revival. Hallelujah. Like I said, revival is setting ablaze something that has been lying dormant or has been dead. Hallelujah. So the moment we know that we have already been called by him, until we know that, before we can desire to have revival in our life. Praise the Lord. Then the next step in which our delay mode is, he said, if my people who are called by my name will do what? Humble themselves. I will spend more time here because this is where so many Christians have lost it. Humility. And humility both in the physical and the spiritual. Hallelujah. Humility. This is a major hindrance. A major hindrance. Why? The first place where the first role humility comes in is most Christians feel they have arrived. And that is the truth. Even a baby Christian will feel he is there. Not knowing he's not even ranked in any place. Hallelujah. You see someone that gives his life to Christ, the fire will be there, it will be burning. And the moment he can first say, I see. God is doing something. He has lost it. God used me to talk to this sister today. God has been using. You see, we get so satisfied that yes, we are there, that we cannot come down to say, oh God, I want more. Hallelujah. I was talking to someone yesterday. Someone was talking to me and was saying, how can he desire more of God? And I said, first, you need to humble yourself and you need to have that passion. You see, what you don't have passion for, you cannot pursue. Am I right? What you don't have passion for, you can't pursue. So if you desire and you don't have that passion for it, you would say it day in, day out, and you would not do it. So we need to humble ourselves to the extent where we can now bow our knees to God and pray. Where we can lock ourselves up and cry to God. Hallelujah. We have become so proud that we are now in a competition, we are in a race as Christians. We have forgotten the purpose at which God placed us, that we are now in a competition amongst ourselves, who is more holy. And we have missed it. As Christians, we are not in a race of who is more holy. We are in a race of how can I fellowship with you more. Hallelujah. We should want to know more of God, not be comparing who is more Christian, who is more spiritual. Hallelujah. You see a Christian, and the moment you see the person, you are beginning to say, say this one, say this. I know, sir, I'm spiritual about this one. You begin to judge your level of spirituality. And that is wrong. Even in the church, it happens. You see people, sometimes it becomes hypocritical. Meaning, You are crying unto God, Father, I want to know you more. And your neighbor is like, let's say you want to. Something last class you were going inside your room, God do something else. It's like we have left that desire, that fire we once had, and we are now trying to show who is boss in the church. Hallelujah. And all because the fire is now cold. The fire in us is now cold. So we need to bring down pride. If you want to grow spiritually, if we want to have a revival in the church, if we want to have a revival in our lives, we need to let go of pride, let go of self. Hallelujah. We need to let go of pride and we need to let go of self. We should know that God sees the heart. So we cannot deceive him. You can't come to church every Sunday and your outward is saying, but inside they are like, at least maybe they don't say I can pray. Who are we deceiving? We are not deceiving the church. You are deceiving yourself. Hallelujah. You see, every day, Daddy Bako, Daddy Adeliji comes to church and they are pushing us. You see, there's very little they can do. The work lies in us. Hallelujah. There is very little our leaders can do. There is very little those God has placed to lead us can do. If it's the same thing we always say, you can always take a camel to the river, but you can never force it to drink. They have taken us there. The atmosphere has been stirred up. But we are so proud to key into that atmosphere. Hallelujah. We are so proud to key into that atmosphere. I wrote, we need to come to a level of brokenness and desire if we want to ever experience revival. We need to come to a level of brokenness and desire if we want to ever experience a revival. Most of us have, I will use this word, built spiritual and physical walls. We are now letting people decide if we want to really have revival. What I'm trying to say is, we have built walls that we are now trying to control our spirituality. Or let me say, if I'm to say, we feel too big that these children will say, see how this man is mumming himself in the church. Let me put it that way. I told myself one thing, during the course of my walk with God, I told myself I will never allow man decide my fellowship with God. So anywhere I find myself, no matter where I am, no matter how big I am, I come down to the lowest level once I'm in the presence of God. Hallelujah. I will not allow what man will say affect the way I fellowship with my Father. I can dance that I will fall on the floor and roll because I know this is personal. It has nothing to do with anybody. Hallelujah. And until we get to the level that we know that what we are fighting is a personal relationship and not a communal relationship. It's personal. That is only when we can desire that fire. We are here to fellowship together as one body, yes. But your growth spiritually is personal. Hallelujah. Your growth is personal. Being humble means we must be willing and ready to bend our knees. We must be willing and ready to bend our knees and go low. We must be willing and ready to bend our knees to go low. There is one thing I have learned right from childhood, is humility. I have learned that and I have built my life around that. Because the moment we become proud, we lose certain privileges that God gives. He said he rebukes the proud and he does what? Gives grace. That means what is grace? Unmerited favor, right? So the moment we become proud, He cuts that relationship with you. So you must be willing and ready to bend on your knees and go low, as long as it has to do with God. There are spiritual rankings, yes, but no matter how high you are in the spirit, your willingness to go low means you are ready to improve or increase in your ranking. It's not like in our office place of work, where once you are promoted, you have subjects that you can instruct, right? Now, in the spiritual realm, there are rankings, but God can decide to use anyone to warn anyone. We need to know that. He uses the availability of a man and not the ranking of a man. He uses the availability of a man and not the ranking. So you can be spiritually ranked, and God can use a 10-year-old boy to warn you. Hallelujah. So you must be willing to go down. You must be willing to bend your knees and go low if you want to have any personal relationship with God. 2 weeks ago, I was caught up in a trance or in a revelation, and I got scared because of the things I was seeing. And I called my father, and I was discussing with him. I was like, Daddy, I've been seeing some things which is strange. And the reason why I saw this is because I decided to make a personal commitment with God, and I pushed towards it. And God began to reveal things that scared me. And I immediately called him because I couldn't take it. And he told me, God, if you want to continue to enjoy this relationship with God, you must not stop. And he said, if God notices hesitation in you, he will stop it. Once God notices, because I was having dreams, and I told him I couldn't keep up with the dreams, I would dream, wake up before you know I've done. So different things, really different people to me. And sometimes I sleep and I don't remember them when I wake up. So I cannot keep up. And he said, Paul, you are taking for granted what God has given to you, and you will lose it if you don't take care of it. He said, Paul, you are not too big to wake up once you are dreaming that dream. No matter how sweet that sleep is, wake up and write it down. He said, Paul, if God doesn't give account of what he has given to you, he will take that and give to someone else. So I had to wake up. Anytime I see anything, I will have to wake up and write it down with my sleeping eye. Because the moment he sees that I am not judiciously taking care of what he has given to me, he will take it to someone else that is willing to pay that price. And he will give it to that person. So there is nobody that is big in the eyes of God. We need to know that. So with that is why I said we need to humble ourselves. No matter who you are in society, you need to be ready to humble yourself. Hallelujah. He says, I wrote, when we humble ourselves, we are admitting that we have no faith in our own ability. When we humble ourselves, we are admitting that we have no faith in our own, I didn't even say ability, sorry, I said inability. It simply means we are not even able. So in our inability, we still have no faith in it. That is what being humble means. When we humble ourselves, we are admitting that we have no faith in our own inability. Hallelujah. So until we realize that God has just placed in us and he has given us, first he said, if my people, we know that we are his people, we can't run from that. Every man created on earth has been created by God, even the unbelievers. Hallelujah. They are his people. We need to know that. Even the unbelievers are his people. So he said, if my people who are called by my name, we need to know that what man differentiates us from the unbelievers and the believers are because we now know that we are called. Hallelujah. So we need to. I was having, I can't remember who I was discussing, and God uses the unbelievers to pass messages across the church. There's one of my friends, his name is Ahmed, while in school. That is why sometimes I get scared of how God operates. Because the way he operates, human mind can't fathom it. This guy Ahmed is a contrite brother. Contrite brother. But there are times he comes to me and he speaks. He knows, he knows scriptures more than some Christians. And he knows praise. If you sing praise and worship, you will dance. But he's a contrite brother. But because of how simple he is, there are sometimes God uses him to pass messages to some of us that are Christians in our faith back there in Abuja. And there are sometimes when he begins to speak, I will just smile and you'll be asking me what, and I say, don't worry. But I will go back and tell God sorry. Because I know that I was not available to hear. That is why he used someone else to tell me. So in our humility, we must have a hearing ear. It's part of being humble. In our humility, we must have a hearing ear. We shouldn't always feel we know and we keep talking. We shouldn't always feel we know and we keep talking. While growing up in faith, I was one that was quick to. In short, immediately people come to meet me to ask advice. Before they finish, I already gotten an answer for them in my head. And I start giving them answers. And to me, I felt, yes, I was doing the right thing. Until God told me, it's not all about what you feel you know. Because there are sometimes you could give answers based on what you know, and you are misleading that person. Because you are using it with your human understanding. It's not everything that comes to God that is being seen on a physical. There are some things that demand God's revelation. On Sunday in the teenage class, I was differentiating the difference between information and revelation. What we give based on our understanding is information. What God gives is revelation. Hallelujah. So, we must have a hearing ear because there are times God wants you to pause. But because we are too proud and we feel we have the answers, we do not listen to when He is speaking and we speak before hearing. Hallelujah. It is part of humility. Having a humble ear. So now I've come to understand that when I speak, when people talk now, sometimes I will just, if God hasn't already instructed me to speak, or if I've probably gone through such scenarios and I have the understanding of God, I can relate it. But when there are things that are beyond just discussion, sometimes I pause and I think, God, what should I say? Even in basic communications, basic discussion, sometimes I talk and I'm fond of doing this. When people talk to me, sometimes I just say and start smiling. Like I'm not saying anything, I'll just be smiling. And the reason why I'm smiling is not because maybe I say something funny. It was probably I'm no longer even in the same space with you, sir. I've gone somewhere else. I'm hearing you, but I'm no longer in that place. I'm trying to think, I'm trying to read it. So in order for my face not to look weird, I just smile. Hallelujah. So we need to be gentle. We need to be humble. We need to have a hearing ear. Then the next point is to pray. If my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray. And that is where revival comes in, because we need to be ready to do this. We need to be ready to pray. We now know that we are His people. We know we have been called. We know we need to humble ourselves. The next prize we need to pay is pray. During the course of this month or next month in our epignosis, we'll be talking about prayer. So I won't focus on that. But we need to pray. And we know prayer is communicating with our Father. Hallelujah. So we need to have an established connection with Him. We must continually, it's like phone call. I used that in my illustration on Sunday. I said it's like making a call. When talking to God, it's like making a call. We want revival, but we always pay to recharge our phone. Hallelujah. It's like talking to your loved one. You buy, this is how I'm going to use phone call to your stranger. You buy 1,000 naira credit, right? That is when we become Christians. We recharge. That fire is burning as you are a Christian. You want more. That is 1,000 naira credit. Now you begin to make calls. You make calls to your loved ones. You talk for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Before they begin to tell you 1 minute remaining. Hallelujah. That 1 minute remaining is when you see that on Wednesdays you're like, should I go to church? Should I not go to church? Week activities, prayer meetings are like, I have this series to watch. Look at that is God telling you, or your spirit be telling you 1 minute remaining. The person you now once had is beginning to grow cold. Remember, he's telling you 1 minute remaining. What do you usually do when you hear 1 minute remaining? You end the call, and you buy credit quickly. To do what? To continue the communication, right? Especially when it's someone you are enjoying the talk with. You are getting to. You won't even wait for the credit before you say, I'm coming again, my credit wants to take a call back quickly. You rush out to buy credit. That is the point. You rush out to do what? To buy credit. Even if you don't have credit, you know you will look for who will borrow you. Why? Because you are enjoying that conversation. Then most of us, we get to that 1 minute remaining and we stop here with God. We get to that 1 minute remaining and we are satisfied that we have spoken for 30 minutes with God. Let us say, whenever it happens, I have credit, I will come. And you know, it's the same thing with relationship. You know, lack of communication brings about distance. Am I right? The more you stop communicating, the more you begin to feel that distance amongst yourself. So more communication brings about better understanding and love. Then when we get to 1 minute remaining, we are like, okay, God, I have tried. It's not easy. Buying credit is waste of money, right? But what you get out of that credit to buy, even with your call, even if it was a business call, will you stop here? You will rush to get the credit. Now, God's call is more than a business call because it involves our life and our daily living. Hallelujah. So we shouldn't stop at the point of 1 minute remaining, and that is prayer. Our prayer life is like a phone call. Our prayer life. There's something I told myself that, and I made a promise to myself that no matter how tired I am with anything I am doing, I will never spend less than 30 minutes praying to God before I sleep. Meaning, if I don't pray for less than 30 minutes, I'm not sleeping that day. I told myself that. Now, I will spend more than 30 minutes. But it's just a thing I said to myself. So even if I have worked from morning till night, and I am very tired, and I find it, and I you know, the Holy Spirit is good in keeping commitments. As long as you are ready, it's good in keeping. So I can have that, even if I find that I close that eye will not close. That eye, I will look at it, and at the time I'm so stubborn. I know that I have made that commitment. I'm so stubborn. I want to see if I don't pray, whether I will sleep or not. I will not be there staring. I know what I'm supposed to say before me to sleep. But I will say I don't want to pray, I'm tired. And I will be staring at that feeling like that. I will carry my phone, play game like that. That's 1 o'clock, that sleep it's not coming. Until I say, okay, I know what I'm supposed to do. Let me do it now. And I lie down and start praying. I don't even need to talk plan. I just have that relationship. I go 30 minutes. Sometimes I wouldn't even know when I slept. Calmly. Hallelujah. And that has helped me over because it has built the relationship I have with God. I cannot say I can stay more than 30 minutes, more than 1 hour, more than 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours talking to God. Hallelujah. And why is it? Because I know that there are sometimes my way of communicating God is strange. I don't know why. But there are times I begin to pray, and the only thing I can be seeing is I'm crying. If you ask me why am I crying, I will tell you I do not know. Hallelujah. But it's because I am connecting with God. And do you know there is a certain stage you get to once you communicate with God, you have that peace. You won't need to say in Jesus' name, amen, for you to know your prayer has been answered. Hallelujah. When you pray, when you have that relationship with God, it's not every time you need to say in Jesus' name. Once that line has been built, that connection, there's sometimes you just pause and you just say it, and it's already confirmed without any serious stress. Hallelujah. That is how it is before God. The more you communicate with your family members, the more you can easily tell them, see, I want this, right? I want this. But when it's someone that you are not very sure, you won't hesitate to call you. If it's somebody you are not close to, you're like, this person didn't know. Then when it's somebody you can just, so if it's your family house, you can just walk in and go up and beg, you get this thing. Ask my brother, he's tired. It's because I know I have a relationship with him, right? So there's sometimes you can just read, I just like Timothy have a beg, give me this thing. And you're like, you see your own? I beg, give me that thing. It is not though. But the way I will ask you, I think you have been keeping it for me. Hallelujah. And why do I do that? Because I know there's somebody that has my back. Hallelujah. And he will not let me be disgraced. He will give it to me. Because I have that relationship. But if it's a stranger in the house, I cannot even just open the room door to enter. I will have to knock and wait. And that is the problem. We don't have that relationship. That is why we have been waiting up to now. Some of us, the reason why we have not experienced that breakthrough is because we don't have that relationship. And we are there waiting for God to say yes. You need to build that relationship. So that, because there are sometimes God is talking, but we don't know. And we are just there waiting, because there are sometimes the person say, come in, but because we don't have the listening here, we are still standing waiting, not knowing he has said, come in. Hallelujah. So we need to build that relationship. This is the cost of revival. Number 5, seek his face. I know some of you will say prayer is seeking the face of God. But I'll explain the difference. Seek his face. Seek his face. Now, there is a difference between prayer and seeking the face of God. Now, prayer is a communication, right? It involves us talking to God, asking of him. Am I right? Asking of him. Telling him. Now, when it comes to seeking his face, it's not asking now. It's yearning for God. It's like you want. Okay, let me put it this way. Your family or your father, or let me say Oba, the king. You know there are certain people that are seated close to the king. What do? They sing his praises, right? Their job is just to hail him, to sing his praise, right? To admonish him. Now, let me also use it another way. There are people that, if you go for weddings, you see them, they come out and they just come and sing and they'll be hailing your name. And what you do is you begin to drop money for them. You do not know your money is going in. But because of the way they are hailing, it's still shooting you. It's still shooting you, you are dropping. Maybe by the time you come, you realize you have 10,000, there's only 2,000 remaining in your account, in your pocket. You cannot go back and collect the money. But when you are hailing, when you are singing your name, you are feeling good, right? Now, seeking the face of God is focusing on his face. Now you are living and putting aside needs. You are putting aside your needs, your wants. And you are saying, God, I just want to have that relationship. I don't want anything from you. I don't want anything from you. I just want to be able to seek your face, see your face, know from you, hear from you. Hallelujah. You put aside needs and wants and say, God, reveal yourself. God, reveal yourself. That is the difference between praying and seeking his face. The moment you seek the face, you seek the heart, He draws us close. The moment you seek God's face and His heart, He draws us close to Him. Hallelujah. So for us to pay the price, it means we need to seek His face. Hallelujah. Let's open to Philippians chapter 3 verse 10. Philippians chapter 3 verse 10. If you are there, please help me read. Philippians chapter 3 verse 10.
That I may know Him and the power of His resurrection, the fellowship of His suffering, being made conformable unto His death.
Hallelujah. That I may know Him. That's what Paul was saying. So now, when we seek the face of God, we are actually telling God that I may know You and the what? Power of what? Your resurrection and the fellowship of your what? That is, we are not only one, we don't only want to know God's power. It is seeking the face of God, it is challenges involved as well. Hallelujah. When you seek God's face, everything that involves you that you want. That means you are ready to stand the test of time. At the same time, you are ready to enjoy His face. Hallelujah. That I may know Him. That is what Paul said. That was when Paul got to a point where he was like, no, I cannot leave this place. There's something I usually say, I feel like Timothy like that. He doesn't understand. He says, there's something like each time I'm talking to God and I'm having a fellowship, I used to say, God, we die here. That's what I tell God. You know this? People have their different ways of communicating with God. Some say, I won't leave this place until you bless me. What means when I pray to God, I will just sit down, I will just look at God. I'm like, God, you think I'll leave here? We die near you, we die here. Shall you pursue some? You understand? I let you know that I'm not leaving this place unless I see what you have for me. So we die here. Until you really reveal it, I'm not going to. I will remain here. Sometimes I'll just be walking on the street, I'll just look at God. We die. I can see what you love me, I will like, this kind of boy is this guy. But it has worked for me because God knows that if He doesn't show me, I'm not going. Hallelujah. If He doesn't show me, He doesn't be die here. So you must be die. You know, when you disturb your parents, I want chewing gum, your parents say, I said, you're going, that space, you're going. Hallelujah. And you will still come back again. That is not what you give me, don't do me. Now I want the seeds. And He will give you. Hallelujah. So, seeking His face. Also open to Psalms 27 verse 4. Psalms 27 verse 4. Hallelujah. Psalms 27 verse 4. That I may know Him and the power of His resurrection and the fellowship of His suffering. Psalm 27 verse 4. Whoever is there, please help me read. Oh, I read. One thing I ask from the Lord, this only do I seek, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to gaze on the beauty of the Lord and to seek Him in His temple. Where one of the best places to seek God is in the fellowship of His brethren, and that is the church. Hallelujah. Most of us, yes, having a relationship with God is personal, but do not ignore the fellowship of the brethren, because through there He reveals certain things that have been placed upon the leaders to us. Now, you can go home and yes, you have that relationship, but the moment you ignore the place of fellowship with your brethren, you are forgetting one vital spiritual growth. And that is why you see the beg you, come to church on Sunday, come to church on Wednesday. The truth is, they are not doing it from themselves because they know that God has something for you. But because we feel it goes on to be proud. We feel that we don't need the church to grow. We let it go. Today, I'm telling you, you need to humble yourself and associate yourself with the fellowship of His brethren. It's just the same word. Show me your friend, and I will tell you who you are, right? That is the same way it is. By the time we fellowship with God, we fellowship with His brethren in His house, we are simply saying, God, these are the people around me. For that reason, we want you. When there is a corporate agreement, God acts fast as well. When there is a corporate agreement, He knows that what happened in the upper room. Hallelujah. All of them came together for one purpose. And because they all agreed in one accord, and they were there to fellowship, He poured down His Spirit upon them. Hallelujah. So do not ignore the fellowship of His brethren. It is important for us to come together. Every service, any service that has been announced, you do not know what God has sent for you during that service. The moment you miss it, you miss out that blessing. He said, opportunity comes for once, but you can still get. So once you miss one opportunity, there are other opportunities, but you don't know whether that one you miss was the one God planned and destined for you. So do not miss any service. Hallelujah. This is because it doesn't come easy. You need to pay this price. Hallelujah. You need to pay the price to enjoy it. Number 6, I'll be rounding up now. Turn from your wicked ways. Turn from your wicked ways. We have sought the face of God. When we are turning from wicked ways, it means we are letting go of the things from this world. This means being different. Turn from our wicked ways. We need to be different. We need to focus on the word. Like I said earlier on, we need to focus on the word, W-O-R-D, and not the word, W-O-R-L-D. Turning from our wicked ways means we need to focus on the word, W-O-R-D, and not the word, W-O-R-L-D. Hallelujah. This should be our standard as Christians. We should not let the word control us, but we should be controlled by the word, W-O-R-D. Because everything we need is here. The moment you leave this place and you are being judged by the word, you lose it. Spiritually and physically. Hallelujah. I'll be rushing. Now, the moment we focus on Him, He promises to hear us. That is the truth. The moment you turn your focus to God, He promises to hear. He said, if those who are called by my name will humble themselves, right? And pray, and seek my face, and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven, right? Then will I hear. It's a promise. But you cannot jump from those who are called by my name and come to then will I hear without going through the other process. It is a process. We need to understand that. We need to know, accept the fact that we are His children. We need to know we have been called. We need to pray. We need to seek His face. Only then are we going to hear from Him. And aside hearing from Him, you know, there are so many Christians, you might deny it, but there are so many Christians that are scared of having an intimate relationship with God. Reason is because they do not know what to expect. The truth is, the moment I started having that relationship with God, I wouldn't lie to you, I was scared. Because when things begin to get revealed to you, things that it's like God. Let me give you an example. God, you are just walking and you see someone on the roadside and God reveals to you that if you do not talk to him, you will die by tomorrow. Just like that. You are just sending him to this man to go and tell him. Your response is that you have to put this way. the more people are scared of hearing from God or having intimate relationships with God because of the responsibilities that come with it. That's what it is. Most of us are scared of having an intimate relationship with God because of the relationship or the responsibilities that comes with having that relationship. Because it's not just simple. The moment you begin to converse with God, you definitely know He will drop some assignment for you. That is the truth. He will drop assignment for you. So because of that assignment He's dropping, you are scared. And we don't know that for every assignment He drops, He gives double grace to achieve it. For every assignment God drops, He gives His grace to achieve it. But because of the fear, we let go of that assignment. We let go of wanting that intimate relationship with God and we lose it. We should not be afraid of having a relationship with God because for every relationship we build, He gives us the grace to handle it. Hallelujah. When there is a movement towards God, there will be a movement by God. When there is a movement towards God, there will be a movement by God. Revival not only purifies, but it prospers the land. It doesn't only purify, it doesn't only need to purge, it also prospers. So when there is a revival in this church, you will see growth. It's not two ways about it. Once there is a revival in your home, you will see it grow. Once there is a revival in your land, you will grow. Hallelujah. This evening, I'm here to let you know that the price for revival has been laid out. Let us hunger and desire it. I assure you, if every one of us has that revival in us, has that fire burning in us, we wouldn't need to be told what to do in the vineyard. We will walk effectively. You will begin to see things line up for you. Why? If the moment everyone begins to hear from God, hallelujah, the moment all of us begin to hear from God, things will begin to fall in accordingly. Things will fall accordingly. But it's because we always wait for the pastors to hear and hear. There is nothing wrong if everybody in this church hears from God. God is not a God of confusion, so He wouldn't confuse us. He will always give us an aligned message. He will always give us an aligned message. Please, let's stand on our feet.